Good morning. Here's our daily devotion for Monday, the 28th of September 2020. Firstly, I'm going to read a hymn to you that I really like. I won't inflict my singing on you, so here I am reading it. I sing the almighty power of God that made the mountains rise, that spread the flowing seas abroad and built the lofty skies. I sing the wisdom that ordained the sun to rule the day. The moon shines full at his command, and all the stars obey. I sing the goodness of the Lord that filled the earth with food. He formed the creatures with his word, and then pronounced them good. Lord, how thy wonders are displayed, where'er I turn mine eye, if I survey the ground I tread, or gaze upon the sky. God's hand is my perpetual guard. He guides me with his eye. Why should I then forget the Lord, whose love is ever nigh? Well, we've just listened to a hymn, I Sing the Almighty Power of God. And I love that hymn. I often sing it to myself in the car or round about. I just thought that I'd share that with you this morning. But I also, when I read the Psalms, I love to read about what the psalmist thought about God's creation and the heavens. And I thought to share a few verses this morning from Psalm 8, starting at verse 3. When I consider the heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? Human beings that you care for them. You have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honour. Well, a couple of years ago, Nigel and I had the opportunity to go to Iceland, not the supermarket. We can go there quite often, but Iceland, the country. And I know there's beautiful things there, but the one thing that I wanted to see was the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. But I know I had quite a few people that said to me, oh, you're not going at the right time of the year. You have to go at a certain time. Or, oh, you're not likely to see them, you can't guarantee to see them. And I said, look, I don't care. I want to see all the beautiful sights there. And if I do happen to see the Northern Lights, then that will be the icing on the cake. Anyway, we set off, and the first night we got there, it was snowing. And we drove to our hotel. And I was quite fascinated because when we had a shower, the water was hot and it was from the natural springs. And that was a new thing for me. And we went and saw the geysers and we went and saw the waterfalls. And I said to Nigel, my husband, do you know, Nigel, I want to see the glacier. And it was a long drive. It was about 4 hours drive. And he said, it's a long way, but if you really want to go, then I'll take you. So we set off and we went. And that day, we drove through bright sunshine, a blizzard, rain. It was like the all seasons weather in a few hours. And eventually we got down to this glacier. And when we got there, I said to Nigel, can you drive down there? And he went, oh, I don't know. Because there were quite a lot of potholes in the road. But bit by bit, we went down there and got right to the glacier. And I was really surprised when I saw it because there were huge cracks in it. And it said that you couldn't walk on it yourselves without a guide because you could easily get into serious harm. So we saw the glacier And then the sun was starting to set, and we knew we had a long drive back. Well, just as we were driving back, we were driving through the mountains, and the snow was really thick. And we saw this strange cloud in the sky. And Nigel said, "Look at that strange cloud." And I said, "Yeah, I wonder what it is." And he said, "I wonder if that's the start of the aurora." And I said, "Well, I wouldn't know, because how would we know?" So he said, "I'll pull off the road." And he pulled off the road into this little lane. But we couldn't really park because the snow was so deep. So we moved the car that we had backwards and forwards to try and get a place where we could stop. And he got out the car and he said, "Quick, Pam, get out the car." And I got out the car, and this cloud had split and started shimmering. And then it changed colour and went to pink and green. And it took my breath away. There was the Aurora Borealis in all its beauty. And I looked up and I said, "Answered prayer." And it really made me want to sing. "Oh, how thy wonders are displayed, where'er I turn mine eye, when I look at the ground below or gaze upon the sky," which is a verse from the hymn that we heard earlier. And when I'm talking to you now this morning, my heart feels like it's going to burst, remembering that time. And I still can't get over the wonder that God has provided for us to see. And I know we can't all go to Iceland, but sometimes when we look on a glorious sunset, or we look upon the sunrise at dawn, or the snow-capped mountains, all of us can have the opportunity to see the wonders that God has provided for us, even if it's only looking at the flowers in our garden. And I wrote a poem about going, as you can imagine, because that's what I do, and I thought I'd share it with you. We took a trip to Iceland, the land of fire and ice. We were really very excited, and we hoped that it was nice. We visited the geysers. They were a sight to see. One erupted every 5 minutes. It had such an effect on me. 2 or 3 times was not enough. I wanted to watch it all day. But there were other things to see, so we set off on our way. We went to see a beautiful sight, the power of the Gullfoss waterfall. But the lovely rainbows over it, to me, were the best of all. We drove to see a glacier. The drive took us all day. We passed through snowstorms and sunshine, and there were waterfalls along the way. The glacier itself was an amazing sight to see. It covers 8% of Iceland, and it looked very big to me. Icebergs had broken off it. They laid there in the lake, and then we had to set off back, as it was getting late. As we set off on that long drive back, sunset quickly turned to night. By the time we got to the mountains, there was very little light. The sky was very clear, and then a long cloud appeared. I thought it looked like a fox's tail, and it certainly looked weird. We stopped the car to look at it, because it was so strange. But as we got out to see it, the cloud began to change. As we gazed in wonder, it began to shimmer, with colours pink and green. The patterns kept on changing, the most awesome sight I've seen. It really was amazing that I had seen the thing I had wanted to see for all my life. it made me want to sing. Lord, how thy wonders are displayed, where'er I turn mine eye, if I survey the ground I tread, or gaze upon the sky. I had seen the northern lights that had always been my dream, and I realised how blessed we were that we had come upon that scene. Next day we looked around Reykjavik and saw many lovely sights. We saw the great cathedral made to look like shards of ice. We saw the mountains by the sea. We tried Icelandic food. We had some fresh fish for our tea, and it was very, very good. But as long as I live, I will never forget the sight we saw that night, the wonderful shimmering light in the sky, the sight of the Northern Lights. And as I said, it still touches me when I remember that time. And I just hope that you see God's wonder as you look around today. Well, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and the Lord keep his face to shine upon you and give you his peace. Amen. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye.